will sing real good and they be like, oh, or somebody will preach real good and they say, oh, that boy, that lady, they know they anointed because they moved us emotionally when they did what they did, right? But just because somebody moves us emotionally does not mean that they're anointed. Oh, are y'all ready for this? Because I'm coming now. And you might not like what I gotta say. You might not like it, but I'm coming, right? Again, I'm gonna say it again because we say this all the time in the especially in the black church, right? They get up there and that keyboard as he plays. Now, mind you, the keyboard is living like HE double hockey sticks outside of the church. Okay? Living like I don't know what. Got 3 baby mamas at the church and 4 on the outside. But because he played that keyboard real good, people are like, oh, that boy know he anointed. Right? Ooh. Okay. Swiss Miss said, oh no. Yeah. That choir, the lady in the choir that keep up more mess than a little bit. But she sing real good. And when she sings, she move you to tears. And you say, ooh, that girl knows she anointed. That's, my brothers and sisters, the fact that they're able to move you emotionally, the fact that they touch you, they stir up your emotions does not mean that they're anointed. Because I said something there. They may be able to stir you up emotionally, but that does not mean that they're anointed. Now, I know you say, oh, Dr. Hall, like like, I don't know if I'm ready for this, right? Because like, I thought that meant that so-and-so was anointed because whenever they speak, I'm just so moved. Right? Well, guess what? There are a whole lot of folks that have very, very, very good elocution skills, right? Elocution means that they can speak very well, right? There are a lot of folks that have taken voice training or they have a natural gift or talent. They have a natural gift or a talent. And when they sing, they can move you. They know how to touch your emotions. They know how to stir up feeling, but it does not mean that they are anointed. And we got to stop confusing the two because a lot of times, simply by virtue of the fact that we confuse a gift with the anointing means we lead a whole bunch of people astray because what we end up thinking is by virtue of the fact that we've confused a gift with the anointing, we start to believe that these folks that are living any kind of way still have the hand of God upon their life. And we got to be careful about this because a lot of folks have been led astray simply by virtue of the fact that they've been listening to folks who stirred them up emotionally, and they took that to mean that these people were anointed. And what the anointing really is, right? The anointing really, what it really means is that the presence of God is in your life and God's favor is upon your life. I'm going to say it again. It means, right? The anointing means that God's presence is in your life and the favor of God is upon your life. You say, well, Dr. Howard, how can you say that? How can you say that? Say it very easily. We find examples of this throughout the Bible. I give you an example. I found this out when I was working on my doctorate and it was mind blowing to me, right? I remember, that's right. MLT networks. He said, read the word. Yeah. I remember being in my doctoral program and one of my professors, who was not a Christian, by the way, right? She said to us, how many of you guys, know Jesus's real name? And so we were like, Jesus Christ. She said, no, that Christ is not Jesus's. She told us Christ was not Jesus's last name. Now I felt really bad about this because I'm like, I've been going to church my whole life and I thought Christ was like Jesus' last name. Like Hall is my last name, right? No, Christ was actually a title that meant or means the anointed one. It means the anointed one. You said, well, Dr. How, where are you going with this, right? Remember, I told you the anointing means that God's presence is with you and his favor is upon your life. So when we talk about Jesus Christ and we talk about the other luminaries throughout the Bible who were anointed, these folks, right? God's presence was on their life. And this is what we got to remember about the anointing. Whenever God anoints you, it is always to do something very specific, right? Like, for example, Jesus's first name also meant to rescue, to save, to rescue, to save. And by many accounts, it also means justice, right? So he was anointed to rescue, to save, to bring justice. So, and likewise, we may not have the title of Christ, but each of us, right? Each of us is anointed to do something very specific. But the problem, let me tell you what the problem is. The problem is often that a lot of people don't understand what they've been anointed to do because they're not in relationship with God.